Hey, welcome back. Howie here at High Octane Cards for another race preview video. This one will be this Sunday's Pennzoil 400 presented by Jiffy Lube at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So this is going to be kind of a short review because Las Vegas does not have the history that the other tracks have had on the circuit. Of course, it was completed in 1996. The first truck race was in 1996, won by Jack Sprague. First Xfinity race in 1999, won by Jeff Green. And the first Cup race in 1998, won by Mark Martin. There have been a total of 26 different races. And it was just a few years ago, 26 Cup races, that is. And it was just a few years ago that they added a second Cup race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Excuse me. There are 6 current drivers in the race that are past winners at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Those are Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, and Martin Truex Jr. I believe, let me look at my notes here. I didn't write it. Yeah, Brad K's actually got 3 wins. He is the most active driver with wins. Martin Truex Jr., Harvick, and Logano have 2, and Kurt and Kyle Busch, both hometown drivers at Las Vegas, have 1 win each. Entered in this race on Sunday are 18 Chevrolets, 14 Fords, and 6 Toyotas. And if you go back and look at the wins, Ford overall has 13 wins, Chevy has 8, Toyota has 4, and there is 1 Dodge win. That was back in 2002 with Sterling Marlin. So the race record, actually qualifying, of course they're going to be doing metric qualifying, and I've got the entry list printed off and not the qualifying list, so they don't have that up yet. And I'm recording this a couple days early, so that's why I don't have the metric qualifying sheet up. Qualifying record in 2016 at 196.328 miles an hour, that was by Kurt Busch. The race record is 154.849 miles an hour by Joey Logano in 2019. And if you look at winning car owners, Jack Roush owned the place early on. He has 7 wins as an owner. Hendrick Motorsports and Penske both have 5. Stewart Haas and Gibbs have 3 each. And Chip Ganassi and Furniture Row Racing, Barney Visser, of course that team is no longer in existence, have 1 apiece. 1 win apiece. And of course, sadly in 2011, IndyCar made a return there, and it was the site of Dan Weldon's fatal accident. I think we all have seen that. Anybody that's been a motorsports fan for the last 10 or 15 years knows about that accident. So that was such a horrible tragedy and a horrible loss of life with Dan Weldon, who had won that year's Indianapolis 500 with a last lap pass. So really, that's all I've got about this race, other than what I know that you guys came here for is the favorites and my picks for this race. And what I like to do is I like to do 3 categories for each race. And because I do play DraftKings, not very well, but I do play it, I like to kind of do 3 different categories. I do what I consider the favorites. These are the guys that are generally going to be top 5. Most of these guys are going to be top 5 at the end of the day. The dark horses are guys that have a chance to win, but more than likely these are the guys that are going to be finishing in the upper teens, maybe 15th, 16th even. And then the long shot drivers, these are the ones that I consider your best budget drivers on a fantasy league, but also they do have a shot to win in my opinion, but most likely are not going to win. So that's kind of how I space those 3 categories out. And a driver 1 week can go to a favorite category and the next week go to a dark horse, just based on the track and that driver's record and their performances there. So anyway, my favorites this week, and these are going to be 4 very obvious ones. They're all past winners here, is Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, and Kyle Busch. I just think those 4 are incredibly strong. Of course, you notice I didn't pick Harvick and I didn't pick Hamlin. Even though Harvick's having a really great season, he's really hot and cold in my opinion at Vegas, and Denny Hamlin just really hasn't found the handle at Vegas. So I think the 4 that I mentioned, Logano, Truex, Keselowski, and Kyle Busch, I think the winner is going to come out of one of those 4, or at least the guy that's going to dominate the race. My dark horse candidates, Ryan Newman. Ryan always runs strong at Vegas. Doesn't have a win there. Has the most starts of any driver without a win, but always seems to find his way in the top 10. Austin Dillon, who has been he's been getting stronger the last couple of years. I think a lot of people have said that, you know, okay, he's a silver spoon driver, but I think he's starting to prove himself the last couple of years. The win at Texas, I think, really woke a lot of people up, and I think he'll run strong. Matt DiBenedetto, who had a runner-up there last year, just runs well on these mile-and-a-half tracks. He's had a sluggish start this year and is the next to last driver in points that has run all 3 races. Again, we touched about this on the Homestead review video. Matty D just has had horrible luck, and of course Quinn Houff is the only driver below him in points that has run all the races. So I think Matt D is easily a top 10 candidate this weekend. And then Chris Buescher. Chris had an awesome run last week, led a lot of laps, the most that he ever had in his career, won a stage, second stage win of his career. He continues to, you know, I'm not impressed, but he's improving. He's getting stronger and more confident in the Roush car. So I think you could easily see Chris Buescher as a top 10 or 12 driver this week. My long shot picks this week, we're going to start off with Daytona 500 winner Michael McDowell. Michael has the most starts there without having a top 10 finish. Yeah, he's got 3 top 10s in a row going into this race. It'd be awesome to see him get 4 in a row and just keep that momentum going. But he is a long shot in my opinion. I think a top 20 is what Michael's going to end up with, probably 17th, 18th, just based on his past runs there. But if they have that momentum that continues, I can easily see him getting into the top 10. Corey LaJoie, now a lot of people are going to kind of laugh at that one. I listened to an interview with Corey LaJoie on Sirius XM. No, I'm sorry, it was the Dale Jr. Download. I listened to the interview with Corey and his dad Randy, and they're talking about Spire Motorsports. And of course, Spire Motorsports has been just shy of being a starting park team over the last couple of years, but they said that was the framework to get them to where they are now. So now they're ready to go racing. They got a 2-car team, a lot of support from Ganassi. They put 2 cars in the top 10 at the Daytona 500. Very, very hard to do, as only Hendrick Motorsports was the only other team to do that this year. So I can see Corey being a top 20 driver this week. Did have an engine let go last week, so that was kind of a bum deal, but I think Corey will have a decent run. Bubba Wallace, I consider him a long shot this week. Even though Bubba's, this is the best equipment Bubba's ever raced in the Cup Series, I just don't think that the team is hitting all their marks yet. I think that they'll be consistently a top 15 team once they do. But right now, I think a top 20 is what we're going to get out of Bubba this week. I think that's the highest that you can ask for. And the other long shot is Ryan Preece. I think Ryan, even though he's had 2 top 10s in 3 races, had a strong start, I think you're going to kind of see him fade a little bit this week. So he'll finish in that 18th to 22nd, but he can, I think, if they hit the right setup and hit a stride and get some pit strategy and a little bit of luck, you know, Ryan Preece could be right back in that top 5, top 10. So those are my picks. That's a little bit of the history of Las Vegas Motor Speedway with your car owner, winning car owners, winning active drivers, manufacturers. I'm looking over the entry list here. Not really anything stands out. It's 38 cars, so everybody will start the race. Yeah, not really anything spectacular in terms of, you know, this driver's making their first start, or we got this driver coming in from another series, or what have you. It's just the 38 guys that they got going at it. So, anyway, I'm not sure when I'm going to drop this video. It's going to come in between, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It'll be somewhere in there, but it will be before Sunday. So I'm not sure what cards you're going to see You're going to see me open up later today, but whatever they are, I'm sure you guys will like them. So hope you guys enjoyed this. We will have a review Sunday evening or Monday morning. Not sure quite yet. So hopefully this will be a good race. So we will see you guys then. Thanks for watching, and we will see you later.